I'm glad you enjoy my old style because because for the past couple of weeks I've been trying to do I've been trying to do a professional more professional style, and I've been hating it because I'm
Mm.
because I found I needed to do that. If I'm gonna get people like obviously as I said, Lord Woodson and people like that. But I realised that that style was really boring. I need YouTube because obviously because I speak. I, I'm never going to be like a proper TV presenter, quote unquote. So why am I trying to be one?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think a lot of people fall into that trap, man. To be fair, like YouTube, you got to remember, mate. When it first started, it was this kid in the bedroom next door. People could relate to that person. Like it was never meant to be this like professional production. And obviously, with anything, as time goes by, people try and up the quality to try and get the views and whatnot. And we have seen this change, sorry, and this transition. And now you've got people like the Sidemen making these like TV style productions and stuff, but it doesn't need to be like that. It doesn't need to be like it. And I think the reason why, like when you asked me to come on, I had a little flick through your channel, and I liked the kind of banter you had with people. And you do, not you personally, but you lose a bit of that when you try and be too professional. So like the podcast, when I do it, obviously, I put in a little bit of research, a little bit in the keyword there, and have a structure, but really it's just two, three, four lads just sitting in a room taking the piss. And I think, yeah, you're professional enough, mate. You ask the right questions, but ultimately, yeah, just have a laugh, and people will be with you for the ride, I'm sure.
Yeah, because once I sorry once this whole COVID thing is, I don't want to say over once to calm down enough so we can actually go out and do stuff. I
Mm.
would like to get into a proper studio eventually. 'Cause
Mhm.
as you've said it before, doing it over Zoom is great and that, but I think it would be a million times better in the studio, so you don't have to deal with lag and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I 100% agree. I'm kind of, when it comes to happy hour, because it's so reactive and it's so so for anyone who doesn't know, Happy Hour is my podcast, and there's comedy at the heart of it. So we have to be quite quick on our comebacks and our response, and you do lose a little bit of that over Zoom and over the delay. And I mean, I live in Norwich, and we only discovered the internet about 4 years ago, so my internet speed is not great at all. Anthony, where do you live, mate?
I live in Birmingham.
Okay. So you got the internet about 8 years ago, so a little bit before Norwich. So you should be all right on that front, my friend.
I've, I've always wondered why is Norwich like to live in?
It's all right. It gets a bad stick. Everyone thinks we're like farmers and we just dig up turnips 24/7. People think that we just live in fields and stuff, and I mean there is an element of that. If I drive from Norwich to London, it's very flat. Like Norfolk is renowned for being super flat, but where I live at the moment is in the middle of Norwich, and it's kind of like a mini London. Like we have everything we need here, but everyone kind of knows everyone. So if you're not a great person, very much like me when I started out on YouTube, I'd walk around and a lot of people would recognize me and go, there's that prick, there's that prick. So it's not a great place to live if you're a bit of a prick, but hopefully I've changed people's perception now. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Obviously, I assume you obviously, I think you're born, but your studio is in London, yeah. So, you know, she decided, oh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna have it I'm gonna have the whole studio in Norwich somewhere. do you think people will come down, or do you think it'll be a
Mm.
case of you by yourself, or somebody, or with somebody else?
That's a great question, mate. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I often get a lot of people question it and ask, and they ask me why I don't do it in Norwich, because it would be so much easier. I could do my own studio from home. But yeah, you're bang on, Anthony. Like obviously you know how the game works. A lot of like the traditional celebrities and YouTubers and people that you see on my pod, they won't necessarily make the journey down to Norwich, because Norwich, obviously being in the east, is on the bump, so no one needs to pass through it. It's not like if you go to from London to Liverpool, you might pass through Birmingham or somewhere like that. I'm not too sure geographically. So there's no reason for them to really come to Norwich. It's not like they can go, oh well, I'm on my way to Liverpool, so I'll pop in for an hour. It's like they've got to do 2 hours there, 2 hours back. And as much as I believe in our silly little show that we do, and as much as I love it, I don't think it'd be worth their time.
To be honest with you, that's my main concern. Like eventually moving into a studio, yeah, because with this, I can just contact somebody and say, "Do you want? Would you like to come on or whatever?" And then they can say yes or no. And if they say yes, I can say, "Okay, I'm available on this day, this time. Did it work for you?" And then if they say yes, I can just send them a link on the day, and then we can get it, and then we can get it cracking. But
Yeah,
obviously, I obviously with a studio, there's a lot more things they have to think about. I, I, obviously with me, I'm a lot more, I'm a lot more reliant on people, and at the moment, I, and at the moment, I can't really pay somebody to be my employee, so to speak. They,
mhm.
they're going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work.
Yeah. Well, people that have even like been in the game for years, like so even they kind of need a producer and someone to run things. So yeah, it would be a lot of work. But and also I think. And I know you've got dreams of being in a studio, and that's great. But it's so accessible to jump on here and have a quick chat with Anthony. Like it's like we were going to do this on Friday, and then I had some time this afternoon, so I just messaged you, and you just made it happen. Just sent me a link. I was like, bang, done it straight away. Imagine if we had that studio booked in for Friday, and then like something come up that where it's like, oh, I'm getting paid this amount of money, oh, but then I don't want to let Ant down. Like you're going to get people that do let you down, and then you'd have paid for the studio time and all of that. So right now, I think given the sort of limited resources that we all have in these COVID times, I think yeah, you're smashing it. You're in the right place, and keep it up where you can.
But my main concern, in the way I go back, in the way I go back to quote unquote normal, whatever that's gonna be. Yeah.
Mm,
Obviously, people aren't gonna be as available as they are now. So
mm.
I do think I can combat that. Do you think I do more episodes for myself, or do you think I just wait and then release them periodically? Did I
Yeah.
be? Sorry, what were you gonna say? My apologies.
No, you're right. Yeah, yeah, that is a concern. But I think ultimately, mate, like when the world, as you say, quote unquote, goes back to normal, whatever that is, people are going to be out and about. They're going to be doing things and stuff, but they're always going to have time for YouTube. They're always going to be. There's going to be times when they're sat at home and they want to jump on and whatnot. So I don't think you have too much to worry about. How do you operate at the moment? Do you stockpile episodes and then release them, or do you film release?
Well, I was filming and then just releasing them on the same day. As I've said, I realise as of late I've been taking it way too seriously in terms of that. So I'm just gonna record it. Obviously, we're recording it today, and then I might wait for another 2 or 3 weeks before even releasing the kids that we took. So, so when people are excited, I can just, I can just upload it. I can just upload the episode, and so and say, there you go, enjoy.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And that way as well, I always find that if you pre-record and then you leave it a little while before uploading, you create a bit of a buzz online. So like we could like I could tweet about it, and then we get people to wait, and then yeah, and then hopefully more views rather than just like throwing it right out there. Another idea as well. I don't know if this is something that you could consider, but when you have guests on, like how about if you ask the guest at the end to tag who should come on next. So obviously you need to agree because you're the host, but say like at the end of this, if I go, right, next up, Anne, I think you should get Stevie White on, and then I do like a public tag of like, you've got to do it next, and then you could get them to tag more people, and then that way you might find out about people that you don't even know exist right now, and then there's more guests for you. What do you think to that?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I would feel a bit awkward doing that because I know people mean well, yeah, when they
Yeah.
tag people, yeah. But I always think if that person genuinely did not want to come on, they're gonna feel really awkward saying no because even though even though they might mean well, a lot of people could take it as, oh, you don't want to go, they don't want to go on the disabled guy podcast. And I know it sounds a bit silly, but I do get things like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's very thoughtful to obviously think about them. But I think, like, when you asked me to come on, like, if I didn't want to come on, like, to be completely honest, if that's what this chat is, I'd have just blanked you. I'd have just not replied. So I wouldn't have felt like bad not doing it. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just an arsehole, like to my core. Um, but like, how about then, right? Because I know Stevie's got all the time in the world, so I'll throw him under the bus. If you'll have him on your podcast, Anthony, I'm putting it out there now. Stevie White needs to come on the podcast. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, and you think, do I want Stevie White on my show? But there we go. I'm putting the tag out there.
I love him, and to be honest with you, yeah, I know you say you wouldn't flank me, but to be honest, that annoys me more than anything.
Yeah,
I would rather you to contact me and say no, or
yeah.
you don't even have to say no, thank you. Just say no, just say no, and I respect that lot, a lot more than just being ignored. Cause the one thing you need to know about me, I'm, I'm, I'm persistent. So, so I would leave it a couple of months, and then I would try again, and then
That's exactly how I ended up getting Ricky Gervais, mate. I wouldn't shut up about it. Just bang on. That's the best way to. I'm not saying that everyone's going to blank you. Of course they're not. But I've had the tendency to be that person in the past, and I certainly wouldn't take it personally, mate, because I've been blanked by everyone out there. It is a bit annoying, but to be honest with you, Ant, like your persistency to want to create the show that you love and get the people on that you love, it's admirable because. Like I told you, when did I think I told you in December that I was going to come on. And being completely honest, I completely forgot about it. Like I like to honour those promises when I make them, but I did. Like life got in the way, and I forgot about it. And then you tweeted me a couple more times, and then it popped up. And then I happened to be on one night, and I see it. So that's the best way. And I think that kind of you can take that and put that into YouTube's success on a whole as well, because with smaller creators. There, and I don't mean this in a patronizing way or in a nasty way, but with smaller YouTubers, no matter how good their content is, they're often easily forgettable because people have their favorites and they get, so like Sidemen, Joe Weller, Nicole Milana, these top dogs, people have their favorites and it's almost like a routine. It's built into their day. They'll go and they'll watch their normal ones. However, consistency is so important because your aim as an up and coming creator and certainly my aim and everyone else that's trying to grow, you need to put yourself in front of them every time they go on YouTube. They need to see the Anthony podcast there, or they need to see the Happy Hour podcast. And the winners and the ones that succeed are the ones that are consistent. And you clearly have that consistency about you. You clearly have that drive. So, mate, if I was you, I'd be tweeting anyone you want on. Just tweet them. Just tweet them. If they don't get back to you, they don't. But yeah.